Hi, we're the Billboard Road Crew, and we would like to thank you for coming on this road trip with us. Today's pit stop, 2024 best lists. Um, and today's drivers would be Sundrop, me, Roadrunner, Fanstar, and Night Browser. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? All right, we're doing the fun part now.
Yes,
We got the worst songs out of the way. Now it's time for the best list, right?
Yeah, and 2024 was
Mhm.
a fantastic year for hit songs.
Oh,
It absolutely
Agreed.
kicked ass. Absolutely kicked ass. Loved it. Now we get to celebrate it.
yes. So, I guess I could just start off with the honorable mentions.
Yeah,
Just
go
get
for it.
into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, my first honorable mention is gonna go to Red Wine Supernova by Chapel Roan.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
What a year it has been for her. She had multiple songs from her album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, go viral, and this is by far my favorite. Um, I think it might even be my favorite of her hits this year. Those shining, glittering guitars while Chapel talks about her new crush and just embracing her lesbian side is awesome to see. This is the type of more upbeat pop I would love to see more going into 2025.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a lot more to say about Chapel Roan further down the road, but I will say Red Wine Supernova, definitely one of the best songs that she released. Every
Mhm.
time it would come on MTV Live, I would like try to drag my parents into the room so they could listen to it.
Yeah.
You have to experience the glory of Red Wine Supernova. So, but yeah,
Agreed.
very fun song all around.
Yes. Second honorable mention goes to
All right.
Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter.
Nice.
Yes. I just love the execution of the song. It has like a 70s country type flair, even though it's like pop.
Mhm.
And also Sabrina's classic wit as she talks about how she doesn't want her new boyfriend to embarrass her and even begs. The song finally made me click with Sabrina as a whole. Also, you can tell how much attention to detail was put on the production end with Jack Antonoff behind the production. So just love the song all around.
Yeah,
And then,
I guess I can see the like Nashville sound slash like old synth pop combo.
Yeah.
yeah. And then my last honorable mention, and this just sucks that it couldn't make the list, but it just shows how strong the year was. I have Wildflowers and Wild Horses by Lainey Wilson.
Yes.
Nice.
I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's what were you saying?
Oh, what me?
Oh, okay.
I just said it was a nice one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, just very sad I couldn't make the list. But this song is just so damn cinematic in the best way. I love how the instrumental builds as the song goes on, and Lady Wilson talks about her journey through an analogy of scenery. A really beautiful song all around, and can't wait to see what Lainey does next.
Yeah, like I was like very unfamiliar with Lainey Wilson's game. Like I listened to several of her songs, and she's legit. So yeah,
Agreed.
best
Yeah.
of luck to her.
Uh,
Okay, so I guess could I move on to my honorable mentions?
yep.
All right, great. All right, so here we go. My first honorable mention goes to "Band for Band" by Central C and Lil Baby.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a tough decision between this song and "Wannabe," but as much as I dig "White Boy Wasted" Channing Tatum, this is more my flavor. It gets me so hyped to see these two hip hop figures rap about their luxury and high life, almost like they're speeding down the highway, especially since they come from two different cultures. The only other time Americans really vibed with a British rapper was Tiny Tempa. So Central C feels like a nice return to pace. This seems like the first time drill has truly connected with me.
Yeah. I think Band for Band is pretty decent. A good showing on both of them. I will say, if you like Band for Band, you should listen to GBP with 21 Savage. It's like a better version, at least in my opinion, of Band for Band.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
for this style of thing, I think one song I really like is "Sprinter" by Dave and Central C.
Oh, Sprinter is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my
Mhm.
favorite.
That one's great.
Yeah, I think my favorite I've heard from Central C has to be Trojan Horse. That one I like.
Trojan Horse is also pretty good.
Okay. I'll be sure to remember that. My second honorable mention goes to "X's" by Tate McRae.
Okay.
This almost feels like a guilty pleasure for me, but I'm a huge sucker for that sound. The trap beat is much more refined than her first album, and it works for a song where Tate assures her exes that she still values the moments they spend together. I remember arguing that Tate McRae should lean more into a dance pop persona to stand out, and it now appears to be paying off. Exes definitely surpasses her previous single, Greedy, which ironically was the much bigger hit. And I think we'll be seeing that scenario once more further down the list.
Yeah, I am a bigger fan of Greedy, but yeah, X is also pretty decent.
Love it. And then my third and final honorable mention is going to Austin, Boot Stop Working by Dasha.
Mm.
When I imagine a country song that's fun, this is what I'm talking about. Dasha almost has a rebellious personality in the world of country music. The way she sings bitterly about her crummy boyfriend breaking his promise about traveling to LA, accompanied with plenty of stomping, clapping, fiddles, and acoustic guitars, practically makes for perfect square dancing music. Whether she ends up as a one-hit wonder is something we'll learn in due time, but she gave us an incredibly fun song with Austin.
Agreed. Yeah.
And yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
So I guess Fanstar could go next with his.
Yeah, I'll get to mine. This year was so good, I couldn't narrow it down to 3. So y'all get 6.
Okay,
For
six, let's go.
HM1, End of Beginning by Joe.
Nice.
This one
Oh, cool.
took a while to click on me. Like, I thought it was just alright when I first heard it on the radio back in like March, April last year. But over time, it started growing on me with just a general vibe and sound, and how well constructed it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I get why it was so acclaimed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the beginning I will talk about considerably later on in this video.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, HM2, Dirt Cheap by Cody Johnson.
Okay.
This is one that I know a lot of people probably aren't going to be the biggest on, especially with the like talk singing he does in the verses.
Right.
But yeah, it still works for me fundamentally as a Cody Johnson song. I like the the lyrical through line about how much I always like is and where I grew up and well, you can't buy that cheap. Those guys experiences and the things that turn a house into a home, and the chorus is really sweet, as well as the bridge. HM3, Like That, Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay.
The song that kicked off the first person shooter in a way kicked off, but this one really kicked off the disslinging.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And what I want to start with, absolute banger. Future's cooking here, and then of course Kendrick comes in to steal the show with his verse. Yeah, fuck the big 3, it's just big me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
HM4, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
Yeah. Not quite my favorite of his disses, but I do get why it's such a smash hit. Absolute banger by DJ Mustard, who is like back in the mid 2010s. He was kind of rudimentary as a producer, but he is so good now.
Agreed.
Like he absolutely deserves popularity now. This just goes off so fucking hard, and he also is not pulling back on any of the punches. Then my HM5 is The Painter by Cody Johnson.
Okay.
This is more like your standard Cody song, with the nice neo-traditional instrumentation, and it's a love ballad to his wife about how you know, he's like she's like the painter bringing color to his existence.
Right.
Yeah, and then HM6. This is just an absolute banger. Big Dogs, Hanumankind,
Yes.
and Kami.
Nice.
Yeah, from
Yeah, it was close to making my own.
yeah, a rapper from South India, though with influences from Houston, and you can hear it in all the best ways.
Mhm.
Production's fantastic. It flows on point, and the bars there too is especially like his little shot at the popo
Mhm.
later
Yeah,
on there.
Nice.
yeah, and I will say how I love how he honors Houston at the end with the kind of like chopped and screwed element at the end.
Yeah, that one's grown on me. I'm not generally a big fan of Chopped and Screwed as a thing, but that outro has grown on me for sure.
Mhm.
Nice. All right, and then Night Browser, do you want to give us your honorable mentions?
All right. First honorable mention: "We Can't Be Friends." Wait for Your Love by Ariana Grande. For how muted the reception was to Ariana's latest album cycle compared to her previous eras, considering that I wasn't that huge on both the West and the Boys' Mind, I'm shocked this stuck with me as much as it did throughout the year. For one, you got Max Martin's tried and true pop production goodness, but the way all the melodies flow here is ear candy. From the emotional chorus where he tries to leave some space between her and the general public's eyes, to the bridge that leads back to the chorus for a subtle yet fulfilling climax. Also, I'm far from a superstar celebrity, but man, do I relate to her about only being seen at night. Honorable mention number 2, Nasty by Tinashe. 2024
Oh, nice.
2024 was such a great year for pop music that we even gave Tinashe another hit. This one I did love at first, but I wasn't quite considering for the best list. But when I was first writing it, however, just only grew further on me. Like, this song is nothing but hook after hook, from the catchy chorus to Match My Freak to the pronounced way she says nasty after that line. It's all mesmerizing. And all of this is carried by Tinashe herself with her sultry delivery, and she just sells sexy. Top it all off with a simple but effective beat courtesy of Ricky Reed, and you have yourself a hot jam. Also, shout out to the Match My Freak remix from Jane Remover. Awesome stuff.
Nice.
And my final honorable mention is Casual by Chapel Row. An amazing year for Chapel Row. It was between this or Good Luck Babe as my Chapel pick for the honorable mentions, though I will be talking about her again later in the video. Here's a sad yet gas hellbanger about confronting your lover over or if this relationship is serious or not, all while eating her out, per se.
Yes.
It's albeit by a somber dream pop tune that turns the whole package into pure emotion. Happy disqualified for here.
Nice.
Good picks.
Great picks. Great picks. All right.
So we can finally get into the list proper. And I guess I could start off with my number 10.
Yeah, go for it.
So for number 10, I have Juno by Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Here we have Sabrina Carpenter's best song to date, all the cheeky and hilarious lyrics about how horny Sabrina is, and all her different kings and everything with that 80s instrumental backdrop taken to the max, even with that great guitar solo and everything. Literal ear candy, and cannot recommend the song enough. Very strong showing from Sabrina here. And
Nice.
yeah, just very good.
It's definitely a very unhinged song, and it's a very funny song too.
Juno, I'll be talking about a bit later in the video.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely got some Sabrina praise on this list, but it's not Juno.
Yeah, Juno.
Oh, okay.
It's alright. It's solid. I mean, well, she isn't on my list. My favorite hit of hers this year was "Please, Please, Please." I just really love how that sounds. And her vocals and personality is pretty good too. She's playing the bad girl.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 10.
Okay.
So I guess now you can go, Sundrop.
All right, you got it. My number 10 pick is "End of the Beginning" by Joe.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Admittedly, I have never watched a full episode of Stranger Things. In fact,
You should.
the greatest. I know. In fact, the greatest memory I have with the show is recreating a scene for a film class where I ran face first into a wall. Bruised my lip. But when I first heard this synth rock anthem, it slammed into me just as hard. Joe Carey appears to be contemplating on his life's journey so far, taking notice of just how far he's come. He takes the time to remember where he's originated from, how the city of Chicago and his sister formed the type of man he developed into, and where his path will go next. In a way, this could be seen as him saying goodbye to the hit series that essentially launched him into stardom, and feeling anxious about what next big project awaits him. For a song like that, you need some astounding production, and Joe delivers. That fat electric guitar throughout the song gives the song a real universal draw, along with the wondrous synths and light cymbal tapping. The music sounds like it's on a loop, but it doesn't need to divert because the focus is meant to be on Joe taking his time to reflect. You can almost picture him levitating off the ground, taking off into space, for he is a shining star reaching for the sky. It seems the world has finally noticed what John Raphael's son is capable of musically.
Oh my god.
But yeah. In conclusion, he charged towards the hill and made it to the top.
Yes. When is Ben Schwartz going to get a hit?
We'll just have to see.
Yes.
This is maybe on the Sonic 4 soundtrack.
Exactly.
There you go. But yeah, my number 10.
All right. I guess now Fanstar.
Yeah. While "Hit Me Hard and Soft" it isn't quite my favorite Billy album, that's still "Happier Than Ever." There was one track from that album that each time I came back to it, it slowly climbed up my rankings.
Okay.
And eventually got itself onto my best list. "Wildflower."
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Hauntingly beautiful, especially with her vocals in the chorus. Yeah, it's one of those slow burns, but like the best positive way you can say the concept. And it's very interesting lyrically as well about her dating the ex of like her friend,
Right.
and reminiscing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'll have more to say on that very soon.
Great song.
Yeah. Just an excellent work from Billy this year, truly.
I kind of wish I had some room on my best list, but unfortunately, none of my favorite songs off of "Hit Me Out Harder Soft" were hits. Like if L'Amour V, or however you pronounce it.
L'Amour de la Vie.
Yeah, that qualified. I probably would have put on my list.
Okay.
Probably would have been pretty high in mine too.
Chihiro I also really liked. It just barely missed my HMs.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Night Browser.
All right, and now for my number 10. It's "Surround Sound" by Jid, featuring 21 Savage and Baby Tate.
Yes.
Finally,
I remember really liking that one.
Finally, Jid is no longer known to the public as the guy who was on an Imagine Dragons song.
Yes.
Yeah. I listened to the Forever Story a while ago, and while I couldn't say this was the single I wanted to be a hit, shout out to Dance Now, this was close. Turning a Aretha
Nice.
Franklin song from the 60s into a soulful beat, all three artists here kind of do their own thing, and yet it's all woven together like clockwork. Jid provides some technical bars on his look with some clever wordplay and a memorable hook. 21 details his lifestyle and one of his best features ever, and Baby Tate gives us a nice, if a bit short outro as a transition to the a damn good beat switch. Now, if this means we'll be giving Jed more hits in the future, that would be nice.
Yeah, I think he's talented. Yeah, well, I definitely want to see what else he's going to offer.
Yeah.
I'll
definitely talk about this later. Speaking of the transition, shout out to the next song on that album, Cody Blue 31. My favorite Jid song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you say we move on to our number 9s?
All right.
For sure.
Good.
All right.
You could start us off with that, Sundrop.
All right, you got it. My number 9 is "Made for You" by Money Long.
Nice.
Yeah. I never expected a legit R&B song to show up, but that's what makes year-end listening so much fun. Money Long's previous hit was "Hours and Hours," and while I found that song decent, the lyrics were too repetitive and didn't really strike a chord with me. But "Made for Me" proves why she has been a crucial songwriter for various artists for years. For one, the intimate R&B production really takes me back. Carried by a grand piano, this almost sounds like a song that would be released during the 90s or early 2000s, when hot and heavy bedroom anthems were all the rage. It's elevated even more thanks to the performance of our singer. What really sells this song for me is how Money sings every single lyric with such earnesty. You believe in your heart that she truly loves this man and wants to do everything to keep him around. She literally refers to her lover as her twin, like she found someone who actually shares the same wavelength as her. To add a nice bow on top is the piano outro, letting the passion linger on as Money and her man continue to share a deep connection. I love how we can see a song this romantic climb on the charts. Isn't it beautiful what viral TikTok challenges can sometimes do for the world?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Made for Me, he is really damn good. Just Missed by Asians. Also, the 90s and 2005 you mentioned, that makes total sense considering Jermaine Dupri produced it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, and I will say, it sucks that the song could have been way bigger, but then the UMG thing happened, and it completely stalled out the song from ever hitting the peaks that it could have, which was very sad.
Oh, God damn it, UMG, why'd you have to do that?
Exactly. But yeah,
And then,
I guess.
so my number 9 is "The Door" by Teddy Swims.
Oh, yes. Love me some Teddy.
Swims is an artist who had his breakout the year prior with "Lose Control," which is still charting in the top 10 today.
Oh, God. Somebody needs to fucking stop that.
Thanks, adult contemporary radio.
While I do like "Lose Control," I much prefer his follow-up single, "The Door," which, well, it still has that like blue-eyed soul that like Teddy Swims brings up into his music. Has a much more pop focus, which I think complements his vocals here much better. And of course, the theming matches very well about this relationship that's fallen apart. It's very toxic, and he's like, "This is it. Not going to do anymore. I'm going to show you the door."
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It was. Oh, are you still talking?
Yeah, it's works really well as like an anthem too, in terms of like be able to sing along, and especially if you like relate to.
Right. Anybody going through a shitty breakup.
Yeah. I will say, to put into perspective about "Lose Control," it debuted the same week as the Utopia album bomb, and the fact that it's still charting is insane.
Oh yeah, I think the "In Your Love" by Tyler Childers also debuted that same week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very close to making my best list.
Yeah. I'll admit that I am not the biggest fan of Teddy Swims, but I do like The Door. That one's nice.
Yeah, The Door's good.
I also like some of his singles since then, like
Yeah.
Funeral and Bad Dreams, which
Bad Dreams
chances
is
are
good.
I'll talk about next year.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
let's just hope. Let's just hope.
Yeah, funny story about Teddy Swims. My first introduction to him was not Lose Control, but a feature on an Millennium song.
Like,
All That Really Matters.
Hmm.
I think some people's first introduction was his remix of Broke with Thomas Rhett.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not his only song with Thomas Rhett. He's had a song in Bubbling Under for like the past 3 months called Something About a Woman.
Okay.
That I think is going to be a single on country radio.
All right.
Alright.
So I guess now, Browser, you can do your number.
Alright, my number 9 is Juno by Sabrina Carpenter.
Wow, there you go. There you go.
I previously talked about 2 horny jams in the honorable mentions. Well, let's cover another one. My relationship with Sabrina Carpenter has been mixed. On the one hand, Feather was a grower on me, but on the other hand, I never really got the espresso hype. Taste is alright, please, I like, but wasn't really best source material for me. And Bedkid nearly gets there, but then she doesn't reach the high notes in the chorus, and I check out. But this is lovely. It's not only her most horny song, but it's the one where her personality shines the most. She will give you good pleasure on this. What also helps is the instrumentation, which combines all the sunny pop rock of the 70s and 80s without sounding like a stale throwback, complete with a cool guitar solo near the end. Maybe this is too hot for the radio, but I'm still holding out hope this will be pushed as a single.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Nice.
And I guess now, for my number 9, I have Wildflower by Billie Eilish.
There you go. Nice.
Yes. This song never fails to give me chills every time I hear it. It's one of Billie's most vulnerable moments on the entire album, where, as Fanstar said, she talks about how she is dating an ex of one of her friends. The instrumental is very simple here, but the elongated outro, like kind of like this, the false ending into the elongated outro, adds so much atmosphere to it, as if like it perpetuates the feeling that like the thought of this person is lingering, even after she wants to stop thinking about it. It's a song I constantly go back to for being so emotional.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting and contrasting the best moments from like Happier Than Ever and the best moments from like Hit Me Hard and Soft. For the former, it's like these crushing moments where things are just getting blown out.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then here it's where it just kind of these ethereal vibes.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure.
And she can sell both just so well.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Exactly. But yeah. That was
All
our
right.
number 9s.
Great. So let's do some number 8s.
Fanstar.
My number 8 is Pink Skies by Zach Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah. This year was, I guess you could say, it's a bit of a down year.
For Zach Bryan.
The album still did fairly well, but
yeah,
there was a lot of controversy after it, and eventually shut things down. But I still really love the first pre-release single for the album, Pink Skies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got the organic like production. No one laughed from them. But the central focus here very much is the lyrics, for content. He eloquently sets the scene about, so, after someone's close to you has passed, and then you have to come in and clean the house out and like do all the things a pair to say your goodbyes.
Right.
And then on the chorus, it might initially seem like the use of yuppies. There's like kind of an odd one at tone, but I think it provides just the right amount of like levity about something that otherwise is quite dour.
Right.
Because it is a very solemn moment, but like also, it's important to celebrate them, and the life they lived, and as much it is being said.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about putting Pink Skies on my list, but like the controversy surrounding Zach Bryan, I don't know. I mean, I still like the song. I think it's a beautiful, touching, wonderful song, but like, I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to put it on the list. I was like, I can't do it. Yeah.
Pink Skies I also considered putting on the on my best list, but for me it wasn't because of the controversy. It was just that it was kind of hard to really talk about why I really enjoyed it per se. Hey, but yeah, awesome song.
Yeah, I will say, in terms of the Zach Bryan songs that were on our eligibility list, 28 probably would have been closer to making the list than Pink Skies. But I will say, if only Oak Island became a hit, that would have been.
Oak Island is probably incredible.
Yeah.
Like Oak Island is.
I mean, I'll say this: like Pink Skies, fantastic song, but it was kind of a weird choice as a lead-off single for the album.
For sure.
It's not something that radio would consider touching, even if it didn't have the negative of being from Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
And then his team tried to push it on pop, which was crazy.
That
I think it was even crazier that Zach was angry when he heard his team was doing that.
I mean, okay, it did eventually chart on pop in early 2025 at number 50.
Yeah.
It charted like on Hot Dog Contemporary in like the 35 to 40 to 50 range for a long while. But otherwise, it didn't really do much. Radio.
Pop radio. I'm pretty sure. In 2025, I'm pretty sure. Like, I found out recently that Whiskey charted there like a month ago or something.
I would not be surprised.
Oh, god damn it. So Night Browser, what about your number 8?
My number 8. That would be "Wannabe" by Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh yes,
yeah.
That song I left off my list.
I gotta say, I really, really, really wish Hiss qualified for this list. It's a superb freestyle that rivals Kendrick's songs as one of the best diss tracks of the year, and like Mamushi, it's just fine. But hey, at least one of her features was both a big hit and an awesome collab with another talented female MC. The beat here is a clever uses of Soulja Boy's Pretty Boy swag, but amped up. And as for the girls here first, Glorilla commands the mic, telling off guys that fucked her over with her signature Dirty South bravado. No wonder she's become one of my favorite breakout rappers of the decade so far. And then we get the Meg, and she's great as ever, acting like a baddie against all her detractors. This is the Girls' Night Out song of the year.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great way to describe it. And like I said, every time I hear White Boy Wasted Channing Tatum, I get turned the fuck up.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
Yeah, love it.
It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's a bop. It'll end up being about the middle of my list, but that's just because how strong the year was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By my list, I mean the ranking I did of the entire eligible year end.
Right.
I guess now it's me. For number 8, I have "End of Beginning" by Joe.
Yay!
Yeah. Damn, we really let Steve from Stranger Things get a hit, and a great one at that. This song is about feeling nostalgia from a certain place, and the lyrics hit hard along with those throwback guitar riffs and the alt rock sound. Um, when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it is one of the best lyrics of the year, especially with the delivery. And you can tell, like, because Joe really sells it. It's a song I constantly had in rotation, especially when I'm trying to get into like that nostalgic feeling, you know.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. So I guess I can do my number 8 now.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So my number 8. All right. I know. Fanstar is going to raise an eyebrow to this. So my number 8 song is "Slow It Down" by Benson Boone.
Huh.
Not bad pick.
Okay. For a guy who loves tempo changes, it was only a matter of time before he released a song titled "Slow It Down." This song finds Benson Boone comforting a girl who's on a journey to become a big star in Los Angeles. She left behind her miserable life in the South and traveled across the country to search for something bigger, but feels like the trip is leading her nowhere and she's starting to break down. Benson takes this time to reflect on his own insecurities and how that could affect the relationship he wants to pursue with this girl. He suggests that he might be taking a risk, but the two decide to take it slow because the interpersonal journey could lead to something glorious. I really like how Benson sells this tune, sounding honest and gentle in his verses, and then letting it loose towards the end when his feelings come to a head. Then you get to the build-up in the music, where he relies on the pianos for the first half, then ramps up the excitement with the drums, finally going crazy with the electric guitars. "Slow It Down" was the biggest grower for me this year, and it shows the promise Benson has. If you watch his live performances, you'll find that this dude is bursting with talent, and I'm confident that he can be a legendary star if he plays his cards right. He didn't get that endorsement from Taylor Swift for nothing.
Slow It Down is one that I really like, and mainly it's the vocals, of course. Like, people rag on beautiful things, but Slow It Down makes beautiful things sound impeccable vocally. And to be fair, like, Beautiful Things is something is a song that has been growing on me a bit lately.
Okay.
Like, I think it's pretty solid now. Overall.
I will. It wasn't near my best list, but I think "Slow Down" is pretty good.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's Beautiful Things easily.
Well,
for sure.
Well, y'all know my thoughts on Benson Boone. I will say "Slow It Down" is probably the closest I've ever gone to liking the song for him. Like, at least the instrumentals does some interesting things. Read the outro, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess with that, let's move on to number 7.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna start.
Yep.
All right. For me, my number 7 is a bar song, "Tipsy" by Shabuzi. And in a world where seemingly every third hit song is just a serialized version of an old classic, it's nice to see a number 1 smash that samples a club staple, but while doing its very own thing. I'm from Northern Virginia, and between Shabuzi and Tommy Richmond, 2024 was a great year to be an artist from that area. I love the instrumentation. That's a rare case of a massive country pop hit that's both vibrant and fun without completely losing its country roots. The lyrics are a painfully relatable sentiment of "work sucks, but let's have fun." And Shabuzi himself oozes personality here with a gritty yet textured voice. This is one that overplay has yet to affect me.
Okay. So I'm going to have a lot more to say about Shabuzi and a bar song later.
Nice.
But this is just something I discovered literally just now. I was Googling Shabuzi's name, and when I got to the page, the result page, it literally tips
the Google
back
page
and forth.
tips. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because tips, it's like you're literally drunk. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my! I cannot believe they actually did that.
Yeah, Google's actually been doing some fun things with artists, like Chappell Roan. I don't know if it still does this, but if you search up her name, it says like, do you mean your favorite artist or something on top? So they always do like fun stuff like that.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, Shibuzi I'll be going more into detail about him later.
Yeah,
And then I guess Roadrunner, are you doing
my
your?
number 7.
Yeah.
So, as promised that I would get to the song, and Sundrop might not like it,
I
but
know where this is
yes.
going. I know this is going.
Number 7, I have "You Look Like You Love Me" by L. Langley and Riley Green. Uh, now you can tell why I was so shocked during the worst list.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I will say this is one of the most wholesome and cutesy songs of the year. I just love that it's just two people meeting at a bar, but the style is just so unique, as it's kind of like spoken word inflection between the two, and just a very theatrical instrumental and retelling of the meeting with the music and all. It's just something right up my alley, and I loved every second of it.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, if you find it cute, then I think that's great. Me personally, I
Yeah,
just really can't get into it, but you know what?
no, very very understandable.
I like how you enjoy it. I like how you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah. I guess I can do my number 7. Is that okay? All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so my number 7 pick for my list was "Die With a Smile" by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
hmm
I can't imagine a single soul who wasn't excited to see this team up. I kept badgering my siblings about it when it first got announced. More importantly, I don't think anyone was surprised by how much Gaga and Bruno nailed the song. The premise is very simple. Bruno wakes up after experiencing a nightmare of losing his sweetheart, and after having the fright of his life, he pulls her in close and promises to cherish their love till the day he passes on. Gaga shares the same sentiment, declaring that the only fight worth something is the one to keep their love alive. Every line feels like one you've heard before, but the way our two leads sell the emotion is what turns it into an instant classic. Both of these performers have become seasoned veterans in the industry, breaking out around the same time as each other. So there's no doubt they were going to perfect their chemistry. As for the instrumentation, do I even need to describe how immaculate the soft rock is, with the guitars building up, the bass giving the tune a sturdy backbone, the drums adding a crisp intensity, and tambourines serving as a nice parsley? Well, it looks like I just did. The perfection of this song is really paying off, considering how much it dominated in the second half of the year, and still is dominating the year. At this point,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a shock if it reaches sunflower levels of certification.
Yeah, I Die With a Smile was very close to making my honorable mentions or like my best list. Like I really love it. I will say it's very funny how I'm like halfway sure this song was supposed to be part of the Joker 2 rollout, and they just abandoned it within the first few weeks because that movie flopped so badly that they're just like, no, this is just the lead single now to Lady Gaga's new album.
Bruno Mars came in for the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Though she
this-
is having a big solo hit with Abracadabra.
Yes, and I'm hoping that really does take off. I mean, it looks like it has, but I want it to like reach even more heights.
Yeah, that a smile is pretty good. Not really quite my favorite the same way a lot has for a lot of people, but I like it.
Nice. And then Fanstar, give us your number 7.
All right. So I have a lot of Chaperone on my list, so I'm just gonna say that now.
All right.
We'll start that off with number 7, Pink Pony Club.
Ooh.
This one was the first song released from that album of hers from 2023, Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. This was originally released all the way back in 2020.
Yeah.
This is probably about the only 2020 release song you could say is doing really well now.
Yeah.
2025 in streams. In fact, it's about to hit the top 10 next week, thanks to the boost from the Grammys performance.
Yes.
And I am so ecstatic this guy a single push. great song, goes off. It's also about, yeah, identity and how, her. I guess like more concerned parents are gonna think of her going out at the.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes from Missouri to LA and.
Right. That must have been the road.
Right.
Particular trip. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot more to say about Ping Pong Club as we keep going.
Same here.
Yeah, and I'll say as for me, it's a song that has been growing on me the past like month or so. So I think I thought it was decent for the longest, but I'm starting to think it's like really good as time goes on. So
Nice.
It did take some
Yes.
time to grow on me.
Mhm.
But by now, yeah, I love it.
Nice.
Okay, so
Let's do.
I guess now I can go to my number 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
6 time.
Yes. Okay. So number 6, I have "Where the Wild Things Are" by Luke Combs.
Ooh, nice. Good to
Yes.
see Luke Combs.
I will say, best word to describe the song is devastating. It's more of a storytelling song here, as Luke tells a story about some guy reliving the memories he had with his brother just to end up tragically losing him and trying to continue on his life in his brother's memory, even going to LA since his brother loved going. An amazing song that just gets me emotional every time, and the way Luke can sell as if it's happened to him, even though it's a fictional character, says so much about him as a singer and a performer. Great all-around track.
Yeah, I think I really liked Where the Wild Things Are, and I think even when I listened to Even Though I'm Leaving, like that's when I knew that like he has like a real talent for storytelling. Like he knows how to bring up those emotions, like for real. Like, and yeah, like I think much like Chris Stapleton, he's working his way to becoming one of the most legendary country singers ever.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll have more to say on this later.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Cool.
All
But
right.
yeah,
So I think we're gonna do my number 6.
Yep.
Okay. This might be one of the most contentious one on my list. All right. I'm curious to see how
Okay.
y'all are gonna react. "Yes and" by Ariana Grande is my number 6.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. I'm now reaching that point. I'm now reaching that point in the list. The girl bops. It's almost a shame people forgot this song pretty quickly. All the kids spent the rest of the year interacting with Ariana Grande through globs of Wicked content, like designing makeup based on Wicked, singing songs based on Wicked, mixing shot glasses based on Wicked. But I'm here to remind people that this song kicks ass. What makes Ariana's journey as a celebrity one for the ages is how she has been able to trudge forward in the face of so much sadness. With "Yes and," I'm thankfully reminded of why she's such an important pop star to have in this generation. It can be hard when social media and pop culture is always trying to frame you as a monster, actually trying to make you into an alphabet, per se. But you must always show courage in the face of adversity. Ariana gives the listener the motivation they need to keep going because there are better days in your future. Plus, you have to remember to look fabulous while you do it, of course, to show confidence. This production gives off real Vogue energy, almost like you're the censor of a fashion show. I feel the need to put the volume on full blast every time I play it. "Yes and" felt like a song that I needed to hear in 2024. It reminds me why I want to keep living, because there will always be something good waiting for me. Like the second part of the Wicked movies. So.
Yeah.
All right, so
I-
what do you guys say?
I liked it. You can go first, Nybros.
Yeah, yes, yeah, and I think it's like alright. I think my biggest problem is that it doesn't really have like a hook per se. I'm not exactly sure why they released it as a lead single.
Okay.
I'll say I liked Eternal Sunshine as a whole. I think the song that not least fit on the album thematically, but probably like "Yes and" is probably my least favorite song on the album. Because it doesn't, like, especially with the context around everything that Ariana was going through and all that. Like, I just think it does a poor job of addressing everything that
Yeah,
she
that's
wanted.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, and was actually probably my favorite of the singles from Toronto Sunshine. But
Okay.
still only thought it was solid. Nothing from that era really stood out to me, even a tenth as much as the final single from Positions, POV.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite RA songs.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hear what Fanstar put at his number.
Chaperone again. Red Wine Supernova.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a chaperone fest at this point.
Yep. This for a while was my favorite Chaperone song.
Okay.
You can tell it's not anymore because I have one higher than this.
Yeah.
But I still absolutely love this song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
just-
incredible. Her vocals are great here. And she just sells the concept
Mhm.
here really well. It's
Right.
like, kind of gay love song.
Right. Exactly.
And love the chorus and such a title line, Red Wine Supernova, falling into it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's great.
And oh yeah, that bridge kicks ass too.
Yes.
Mhm.
For sure.
Bridges in pop songs, they're a good thing.
Yes.
Do
Right.
them.
They are. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, and now for my number 6, it's gonna be "Like That" by Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Good.
it's not a hot take to say that 2024 was the year for Kendrick between a highly publicized feud between Drake, where he won by a landslide, and a massive album near the end of the year that only further cemented his current status as both the biggest and most beloved rapper of our generation. And if this top 10 list was based on cultural impact alone, Not Like Us would top my list. But as great as that song is, I have to go with the other number one Drake diss between the two. It's not even really Kendrick's song. Yeah, Mustard's West Coast style beat on Not Like Us goes hard, but there's something about Metro's touches here, from the siren-esque horns to the haunting synths in the background, that grabs me. I love Future's usual low-key yet moody delivery, particularly here. And of course, there is the event that is Kendrick's verse. His firepower here providing the shot heard around the world. Talk about opening an arc on a strong note.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. I will say funny thing, because it was mentioned earlier. Oh, I mean, Like That is a great song in general. Kendrick kills it, Future kills it. But I will say, I love how Drake made first person shooter to prevent this type of thing. He wanted to, like, quote unquote give respect to Kendrick by putting him in the big three, and Kendrick was just having none of that. He's like, no, we're gonna beef and I'm gonna win this. And that's what like his Like That verse basically was. He's like, no, I'm not playing nice about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then J. Cole, like, he very slightly tried. Except not
J. Cole tried and then retracted it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think with that we can move on to number 5.
Mm-hmm. And I guess Sundrop could start with that.
All right. This one I'm excited for. My number 5 is 360 by Charlie XCX.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, now we have a meme so nice it almost gave us our first female president. Seriously though, it's truly amazing just how much the Brat album took over the pop culture landscape, given how much people have slept on Charlie's music, at least in the mainstream. And it's weird because she's been a huge name for years. In fact, 360 almost feels like a celebration of everything she's accomplished since rising in popularity. Charlie takes pride in becoming a fashion icon, a trendsetter, and of course, a hitmaker. She absolutely deserves to brag about this, considering the features she's done, the lyrics she's written for other artists, and how much she's influenced so many other big names in the world of pop music. She also adds plenty of glamour to the track, with the jumpy keyboards and booming bass, making for a fabulous electro-pop sound. Easily one of the best moments is when she gives a shout out to Julia Fox for being her inspiration. I'm honestly just glad she's actually escaping the shadow of that moron who I don't need to name more than once in the year-endless season. It astonishes me just how short the runtime is for the song, but I don't think it needs to be any longer. It carries out its goal and quits while it's ahead. I'm so glad Charlie XCX could dominate the charts and make me feel like I'm living in 2014 again.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I like for E6 XD, and it's not on my list, but I will be talking about Charlie soon.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that I mean, I don't dislike 360. I just the album Brat is so good that 360 just sounds simple by comparison, and it on any other album would probably be a highlight, but when Brat is so good, like 360 just sounds like generic in comparison. Yeah. So, I mean, that's I guess my main complaint with it.
Okay.
And then I'm the person who just never really got Charlie.
Damn.
Oh, really?
um,
Damn.
I mean, most of the stuff from like Brat era is like solid, but this one is about that for me.
Okay.
Also, by the way, if had Girl So Confusing remix been like an actual hit, probably would have been my number one here.
Okay. Yeah, I think I
same.
remember that one.
Same,
Yeah.
it would be on my list for sure.
Okay.
All right, so
All right.
I guess now no,
So, yeah,
Fanstar's
My,
number.
my number
yeah,
5 is Surround Sound by Jit featuring 21 Savage and
Hey,
Baby
there you
Tate.
go. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you can thank this one to TikTok.
Yeah.
Because this record came out in 2022, charted briefly around number 90,
Mhm.
but didn't catch much traction beyond that. And then 2 years later, it gets picked back up on through virality and manages to become an actual hit and make the year end.
Nice.
Mhm.
I love the sample integration here from Aretha Franklin's One Step Ahead. Incredibly inspired choice. Production here is phenomenal. Jid's going off. 21 Savage bringing his A game on his verse. And then that like interlude by Baby Tate in the middle is pretty solid that addition. And then they switch it up.
Yeah.
and a lot of songs attempt this. Not too many pull it off well. This one pulls it off well.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jid's like final verse, absolute fire.
For sure. Yeah, I'll have more to say on that very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, the Forever Story is easily one of my favorite albums of 2022. Fantastic record.
Mm.
Mhm.
So Night Browser, what do you got to say? What is your number 5?
Alright, my number 5. This being here might shock some people, particularly for how I placed it, because on a rank down I did that Roadrunner hosted, that was like a hits rank down. It placed like 31 out of 40. Yeah,
Okay.
but,
What would this be?
God, did I come back to this a lot in 2024? It's Bandit by Don Toliver.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not a bad choice.
Yeah, the B is this explosive mix of trap, rock, and rage music that I haven't really seen too much of before, or at least in terms of like the mainstream. And speaking of reusing an older song done right, said beat samples Tame Impala's One More Hour, and the way it turns this vibey psychedelic tune into a chaotic banger is so cool. And Don Toliver gives one of his best performances here. He sells his rock star lifestyle with plenty of bravado and charisma, and the auto-tune vocals work perfectly over the almost futuristic production. The closest comparison I can think of is with Yeats Breed, with its future industrial tone, which had that qualified, and would have been a strong contender for my number 1. For what it's worth, though, this is awesome in its own right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Banner's pretty good. If only Tore Up became a hit, that
True.
maybe would have been to my top 5. Yeah. Um, but cool.
Yeah.
I guess now on to my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so my number 5 is Surround Sound by Jid featuring Travis Ouch and Baby Tate.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
hmm And as other people have said, just a full-on banger. It splits into 2 parts, with like this first part being like this classic catchy rap bop with great bars from both 21 and Jid. But the part 2, Jid really lets his talent known. His flows, while complicated, seem effortless to him as he switches up rhyme schemes and cadences, and it's just so like how does he do that? I have no complaints. Glad Jid finally got a hit. He's so talented. He deserves more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Jid.
Good stuff.
All right. So yeah, I think now that we've done all of our 5s, let's do some 4s.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
And to close out the Chaperone Trio, Good Luck, Babe.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Her, this is the real big hit. The lead single to her next album, that we haven't even got the second single from, but that's because songs from her previous album are still smashing.
Yeah.
Pink Pony Club, especially.
Mhm.
But yeah, this one, yeah, another one of those massive hits this year that leaned heavily on synth pop in terms of its production. Lyrically, it's about talking about like her shared relationship with a woman in the closet, and the other struggled with, compulsive heterosexuality and stuff, and eventually she's just like, I don't want to call it off, but if you're not gonna, call it love, and it's gonna be the secret fling. That's all I'm here for.
Right.
And then it's like, yeah, it's like, good luck, babe.
Right.
As much as like you keep trying to chase a relationship, like that's not how you swing. In the end. And then, of course, like the bridge, just the best bridge of this year.
Yeah. Easily.
Especially with that, I hate to say I told you so, and then she says the line again, but fucking screams at the end with the high note. Yeah. And then to top everything off, really inspired choice to do that like slow fade down in the outro where the music slows down.
Because it's like you
tempo
have to
wise.
stop the world just to stop the feeling,
Yeah, works fantastically thematically with that line too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but good
Incredible
luck,
artistry all around.
Yeah. And it's great. And it's great how like that was like the song that like really like launched her into like top 40 stardom. Like that was the song that first that like really climbed up the charts. Like the first of first to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it resulted in that previous album having an album bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Luck Babe was really close to making my list. I will say she previewed her next single on SNL. I'm so excited for that next single. I hope
Is that one
Nice.
Subway? Is that one like Subway or whatever?
No, it was like something country inspired. I forgot the name of it.
Oh yeah, right. I
Yeah.
forgot she was like teasing like a more country like kind of thing. Is it like country like in Places Please, or like actually like more genuine country pop?
It sounded more genuine.
I mean, that'd be interesting to see. I doubt.
It's called The Giver.
Yeah, I doubt Nashville's going to entertain someone like her, even if they even if they do play like Dasha, who is a pop artist from California. I think her being like so open about her
yeah.
like lesbianism stuff is gonna hurt her any attempts to cross over in Nashville, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still see how even today Casey Musgraves can't get traction because she stood up for gay marriage a decade ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we'll have to see what happens with that once she decides to release it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to do your number 4, Night Browser?
Oh yeah, why yes. So remember when I said earlier that I wish I had room for Belly on my list? As it turns out, I completely forgot about this one. It's Guess by Charlie XCX featuring Billie Eilish.
Oh, well, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I love Brat. Maybe not quite as much as other people were hyping it up last year, but I was very happy to see Charlie finally getting some mainstream attention again after staying out of the spotlight for years by making plenty of forward-thinking pop. And I liked 360 and Apple well enough, but my favorite Brat hit by far was this. First off, I have to praise the production courtesy of the Dare. While I'm far from a fan of his music, he goes off behind the background here with this in-your-face beat that's as cool and futuristic as the rest of this album. And Charlie and Billy bring out the best in each other. This may have been a remix, but with their chemistry here, it may as well have been the final product. This also continues the trend of 2024 being just a great year for queer people in pop music. Like Charlie likes boys, but she knows I'd hit it is like one of the best moments on this year end in my book.
For sure.
Yeah.
The Guess remix is really good. It was also high up on my ranking of the year end we rank, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely.
I guess now my number 4.
Yes.
So for my number 4, I have Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow, Kendrick really demolished Drake on this. Euphoria is probably the most powerful statement released during the whole beef. In my opinion, how could you not love it? Calling out Drake on all his shit in the most epic way possible, too. I was never too, Not Like Us is fun, but I was never too big on it. On the other hand, this track, Euphoria, is everything I would want out of a diss track. So many layers on each bar, so much to dissect. Everything that has happened since this track released has just been dancing on Drake's grave at this point.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Not Like Us will most likely hit number 1 again this upcoming week is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Drake, I would retire.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok comment saying, no matter how bad of a day you're having, Kendrick is always going to make sure Drake has an even worse one.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, Euphoria, I'm going to talk about a bit later in the video. So stay tuned.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to give you my number 4 pick now. That was Bedchem by Sabrina Carpenter.
Cool.
Yeah, Charlie wasn't the only pop girl who took over the summer. Sabrina Carpenter just knocked it out of the park this year with Short and Sweet, and I don't doubt we'll be seeing her in the spotlight for quite some time. It was a bit tricky figuring out which single would properly reflect her reign in 2024, but I officially landed on the hot and steamy Bedchem. Sabrina sounds very in love while she's singing her verses about meeting her boyfriend over the spunky guitar, and the spoken rhymes about his attractive features perfectly add to the intimacy. But obviously the track is elevated to a new plane when the chorus hits. Listening to Sabrina hit such a high pitch while the chimes play and the bass drops is her most unforgettable moment. The note is so high, it's going to break her espresso cup. Of course, I can't forget the moment where she rhymes camaraderie with camaraderie. As I listen to this album, I realize what makes Sabrina stand out is that she's capable of being really funny. Maybe this was something she learned during her time as a TV actress, but I would say it's benefiting her a lot. To play us out are the glossy keyboards capturing the lust running through Sabrina's veins. As I finish listening to Bedchem, I think to myself, damn, Barry Keoghan must have been one hell of a lover if he made her produce music like this.
Yeah, Bedchem has not like. I just feel like there's so much better singles off the album, but Bedchem's not bad at all. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess with that we can move on to number 3.
It's number 3, yes. And Night Browser starting us off.
All right.
Yes.
For my number 3, we got Pink Pony Club by Chappell Rowan.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, with this becoming big in the wake of Chappell's blow up last year, it's weird to think that back in 2020, this was a commercial flop that got her old label to drop her. It may only be 5 years old, but it feels like it's always been there. The instrumental, despite its clear influence from 80s pop music, sounds timeless, and that ascending guitar solo at the end is just the chef's kiss. And then there's the lyrics. They paint a vivid picture of a queer girl who never felt home back in Missouri, so she moves to California to work as a stripper in a gay bar, where her mother may disapprove, but she finally has a place where she can feel accepted for the first time in her life. Now, as someone who's a pansexual trans girl who's living through this current hellscape, I cannot overstate enough how relatable this is. Wanting to find my own Pink Pony Club in a way. Just, damn.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's totally valid, and I'm glad that that song provides you that sort of enjoyment. I'm going to be going into. I still got many details I need to share about it, but yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Roadrunner.
Yeah. Yes, Roadrunner.
Yeah. Yeah. For my number 3, I had Chihiro by Billie Eilish.
Oh, nice.
Yes. The lyrics set the scene well, but the real star of the song is its production. The way it effortlessly continues to shift and change up as Phineas decides to either take away something or add certain things. By the end, it completely sounds different than how it started. They're always so effective at setting a mood through sound, and this is the best showing of that ability. Also love the homage to Studio Ghibli with the name. Never too tired to get immersed in the song and everything it has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chihiro is really good. Although every time I see that title, I keep mispronouncing it as Chiro, and all I do is think about that. All I do is think, and every time I think about that scene from Challengers.
Oh my god!
Yeah, speaking
of the churro.
Yeah, speaking of media with gay themes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a good song. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess you're next.
Yeah. My number 3.
I think I go after Roadrunner.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Sundrop,
Yeah. So my number 3 is a bar song, "Tipsy" by Shabuzi.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's almost indescribable how much this song fills me with excitement. Every time I'm driving and it plays on the radio, I need to crank it up as loud as my ears will tolerate. A bar song doesn't require a deep analysis. It's a straightforward anthem about a guy who's beaten down by how overworked he is and how much he struggles to acquire basic needs. But even with all that bad luck, he's going to kick back and use his small pay to party at the bar with his pals. He ain't going to stop this tradition anytime soon, and is looking to invite even more people than the last time. The instrumentation isn't too complex either. Shabuzi mostly relies on his guitar for the melodies and brings in plenty of vocalists in the background, creating the feeling of a whole crowd gathering downtown to sing with each other. The fiddler also deserves major props for giving a sweet tune every time the chorus is finished. I think what gets me the most is the drum that vibrates every time it's played. Also, I hate to make this political, but after we spent 2023 watching the charts being topped by several country artists who've been embroiled in racist controversies, to have the biggest country song of 2024 be from a black man whose success dwarfed all of those hits is incredibly poetic. I would be thrilled if Shabuzi stuck around much longer because Where he's going is someplace outstanding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd like to mention. Good News should make the list for 2025.
Yes, that's good.
It has been sent to Hot Contemporary, Pop, and Country Radio.
That's
and
great.
It is, top 50 in all three.
Oh, let's go. Another hit for Shibuzu would be awesome. Ugh. All right, so let's hear Fanstar's number 3.
All right, Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar.
Love it.
Yeah. I wouldn't quite say this is the most effective of his disses towards Drake. That would, at least in terms of pure lyrics, that would probably be Meet the Grams.
Okay.
But I think it strikes the right balance towards being realistic and, just going bar for bar. And so.
Yeah.
It's not quite a banger like Not Like Us, but it's still a banger in its own regard. And he just brings out so much ammunition, Drake. Deconstructing in other ways. What throw out here? I really like that first part where he starts out slow, almost like talking to him, and then and then the beat switches and he's going shoo shoo, and then he hypes up next verse,
right?
And then there's another switch after that, about 2/3 way through,
right?
All of them kick ass. It just
nice.
And of course, his content's on point throughout.
Awesome.
And then that outro is really funny as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was just ruthless this year. So yeah. With that, let's move on to number 2. Let's see who got the silver.
And I guess I'm starting out with number 2, right?
Yes.
So number 2, if you know me, I've loved the song for a long time, and it might seem strange at first, but my number 2 is "Where It Ends" by Bailey Zimmerman.
Hey. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
This song was one of my favorite songs in general in 2023, and I'm so glad that it was actually pushed and even became a hit. It shows Bailey Zimmerman mixing country with that type of post-grunge sound. Yeah, even effectively matching the attitude of the genre. And Bailey's voice is actually perfect for this type of crossover thing. I know Nate Smith kind of tries the same thing, but I feel like on this song in particular, Bailey Zimmerman really pulls it off. I kind of wish he leaned more into that side of things than the type of stuff he's making now, like bland either country pop or bro country type stuff. New to country. He had that song with the Jonas Brothers.
He collaborated with the Jonas Brothers?
Yes. Waffle House 2, my favorite.
Yeah. You can really feel the bitterness as he tries to cut off ties with the toxic partner. All around an amazing song. I really hope one day he can actually match the song in terms of quality, but I sadly doubt that will happen.
Yeah. I'm never ready for Bailey quite a bit, but I think that excitement has kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he'll improve eventually. So I guess I can reveal my number 2.
Yes.
All right. So this is a song I'm actually kind of surprised none of us have talked about yet. In fact, I don't even know if it's on that many best lists, but I know I love the hell out of it. That is "Too Sweet" by Hozier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize this is a very whiskey-themed best list. It's a pleasure to see Hozier have a great year because he seems like a friendly, talented guy. While I acknowledge how splendid "Take Me to Church" is and the importance of its message, it was a little too gloomy for my taste. You're too gloomy for me, you know. But when it came to Too Sweet, I couldn't get enough of this track all year. The instant I heard that fuzzy guitar and clicking percussion, I knew I was in for an adventure. There are so many immaculate production details, you have to stop and appreciate them. The soulful
Mhm.
falsetto in Hosier's voice, the faint bells during the chorus, the harmonica after the first chorus, and how the drums and cymbals go rapid during the climax. It all makes for an interesting premise. Hosier sings about how his girlfriend is overly optimistic and wants him to live a life with more brightness, quite literally. What helps is that
Mhm.
while Hosier shares his complaints, they aren't harsh enough to demonize his partner. He's just sharing his own perspective. The imagery he uses throughout the song is also incredibly vivid. He describes himself as akin to a bonfire, coffee, and dark lakes, while his girlfriend is equivalent to a grapevine glistening through a sunstorm. I'm just in awe of the picture he's painting with these lyrics. Much like Charlie, I'm glad Hosier could find mainstream success again after spending a decade absent from top 40.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 I'll
What were you gonna say,
Oh.
Roadrunner?
no, I was just gonna say I'll save some thoughts for later.
Interesting.
Oh! Ooh.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But yeah.
Well,
So yeah, I guess with that, let's hear what Fanstar put at his number 2.
All right. My number 2 is Wildflowers and Wild Horses by Lainey Wilson.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got the Laney appreciation.
This one, I am pleasantly surprised in the best way this was even considered as a single. By our team, by label. And then actually pleasantly surprised this actually was a hit on radio. Because
Right.
it's that kind of story country that radio typically hates.
Mhm.
But they managed to push this well, and of course the song itself I've always loved. This
Mhm.
was easily my favorite song, Bell Bottom Country, when I first listened to that. Back when it came out, I think in 2022,
Okay.
when the album dropped. Background, when Ronald Moonshine and Heart Like a Truck.
Yeah. Heart Like a
Singles.
Truck, I still love.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, just Lainey's great vocalists, and then of course at the center here is the lyrics written by herself, Tony Anderson, and Paul Sykes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
Lady Wilson just,
Other
she
chorus,
just knows her shit.
and just the imagery throughout here.
Mhm.
And Jay Joyce, for what's worth, does a really good job on production here.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lady Wilson, she just knows her shit. Like, for real.
Yeah.
anyway-
Very glad she's one of the biggest female names in country right now.
Yeah, like, she absolutely deserves it. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Mhm.
So let's hear what Night Browser put at her number 2.
All right, my number 2 is Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
Now, while not like
Oh my
last
God.
may have missed my list, that doesn't mean I'm done talking about Kenny. This feels more like a band than a real hit. Like, it's a 6-minute disc with no chorus or real hook. Like, not a lot of those make like Billboard year-end lists, but God, I'm so happy this did. This is like the best of both worlds when it comes to big freak Hendrick discs, a lot similar to what Fanstar said. Like, you get the grand epic link and pinpointed contempt of Meet the Grams, but you also have the more triumphant tone of Not Like Us that makes it easy to come back to. It's the moment where we found out Kendrick doesn't just hate Drake, he hates Drake. Never wasted a second on the topic. Every line he delivers blow after blow, attacking him with so much depth that you can make a 3-hour video essay on the song itself. All while he constantly switches his flows with the spectacle that is the beat behind him. It may not be the first song that comes to mind to most when talking about Kendrick in 2024, but man, is it a once-in-a-lifetime moment in its own right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh god.
Mhm.
Yeah,
This
it
gonna
is still wild to me. This reach number 3, and that number 3 peak is deceptive. I would like to point out
Yeah.
it had amount of points at number 3 that the current song at number 1 has right now.
Mhm.
What's
Like,
that?
or actually, twice that. Twice
Oh,
that.
damn.
520 versus Die the Smile is currently 260.
Mm,
Wow.
We had a
but
really strong summer.
yeah.
It got held
Yeah, we
back by
did.
I think it was
For sure.
I think it was behind $1 Million Baby and Not Like Us.
And yeah,
Nice.
$1 Million Baby would have been number one in any other week. Which is
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
to think about.
Well, okay, except for I Had Some Help week 1. That
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
a
true.
crazy point
Yeah.
peak as well.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, are we ready for the big moment?
Yes.
Number one,
Yes.
and as per tradition, we will say it all at the same time, and I guess after that, Sundrop will start us off.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Too
And
Sweet by
where all
Hosier.
things are.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay, so why don't you start us off on your number one?
All right, here we go. My number one, like I said, is Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. There was no way I was going to write this list without praising Chapel Roan. This woman has just been a rocket to the moon. She's provided us with so many astonishing queer anthems and has sung them for live audiences of tens of thousands. I also love her ruthlessness towards the paparazzi. After a while, I expected her to kill one of them with her flaming crossbow. But of course, her songs are just as hot as her weapons. And the song I chose to admire here is an earlier one. We see her deciding to pursue her dreams of being an entertainer, but not the kind you would immediately think of. To put it bluntly, Chapel Roan becomes a stripper and finds herself enjoying every second of it. The job allows her to embrace her true self and share that joy with others who are simply looking to express themselves. What's fascinating is how she sings from the perspective of a Southern girl who is looking to break free of her upbringing so she can show her true colors. Pride colors, in fact. What better way to capture all this than with a piano to open the scene, a synth to throw us into the action, a drum to add glorious intensity, and a kick-ass guitar solo in the bridge and outro. Some of Daniel Nigro's best work. Chapel Roan is an important pop star for us to have, showing how strong queer people will persevere even in the face of shame and oppression. Seeing her reach this level of fame honestly fills me with happiness. I understand how much pressure she has gotten to her, but she should know that her music has been fun, introspective, and encouraging to so many listeners. Pink Pony Club, my number one pick for the best hit song of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, great song.
So I guess, yeah,
And then-
Fanstar.
Yeah, my number one pick was World of Wild Things Are by Luke Combs.
Oh,
Mhm.
wonderful.
Yeah, my top two, both story country songs from
There
two
you
of the
go.
best artists in mainstream country today.
Mhm.
This one, it went number one on radio and then got dumped, which is unfortunate. And that happened even though it had massive streaming.
Yeah, pretty sure it's like Streaming Peak
Yeah.
came after its radio peak.
Yep. Its streaming peak was after it was off the Hot 100. I'm pretty sure.
Which is sad.
Yeah. This is Getting Old, fantastic album. This is easily the best song from it.
Yeah.
I like a lot of songs in like mainstream country often have the issue of like having too much chorus, where it's like half the song sometimes. This one definitely does not have that issue. It has 3 full verses and a bridge. It actually only has the chorus go twice, with the second chorus being different than the first, being extended with some additional lyrics.
Mhm.
And of course, the story here is about like how my brother got wild, You live well, going fast on motorcycles out in the West. Some other things that crazy. Eventually, is like Adam and Bridge. He's like, I had to move back east. Say goodbye, but I knew you'd never leave. And then
Mhm.
that final chorus, talks about what happened to him. And it passed away hitting the guardrail, 2,000 speed. One of my touching lyric though near the end. We buried him out in the west, neath the West Coast stars, out where the wild things are. And to respect, like that's where his heart truly was.
Yeah.
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 It's
Very
an incredible
touching.
song around.
Very touching song.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh yeah.
You go now, Bridge.
Oh yeah. It's probably my favorite Luke song. I did consider it for an honorable mention. Great stuff.
Yeah. And just to add on some stuff that I didn't say previously, two things. One, I find it so funny he was so successful in promoting the song that it debuted on the TikTok charts for 1 week. And I always found the fact, I guess, interesting in terms of people embracing the song. And two, I like how whenever Luke picks singles, he really listens to what the fans want. Because every time he picks one, he either runs a poll or he is really in tune to what his fans like.
I remember back in early 2023 when he did a poll between Love You Anyway and Five Leaf Clover.
Yeah.
That was right before he dropped Fast Car as a pre-release promotional single that then just smashed. Came
right.
Yeah, and Love You Anyway and Fast Car he ended up just promoting at the same time.
Yeah, Love You Anyway only peaked number 5. I think that was his first single not to go number 1.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, my number 1 is "End of Beginning" by Joe.
Oh, look at that.
If there was any hit from last year I've returned in the most, it's this. First off, the sound's beautiful. The inviting opening keynotes, the subtle guitar, the backing vocals after the second chorus, the short but impactful bridge. Every detail from top to bottom grabs your attention. And that's not even going into Joe himself, whose reserved performance here fits like a glove. I may not know too much about Joe Carey or Stranger Things in general, but how he reflects on his past and how much he's transformed as a person since is moving, particularly to a personal degree. Without going into too much personal detail, I've always been looking back at my life and comparing it to who I am now. But no matter what changes may be, the person I am will always stay, and that's okay.
Yeah, very touching. I like that night browser. Thanks for saying that.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, let's hear Roadrunner's number 1.
Yeah, as hinted earlier, my number 1 is Too Sweet by Hozier.
Yes, let's go.
Very glad Hozier had a comeback this year. You can tell that the public wanted someone with Hozier's sound when last year they were trying to push I think David Kushner to fill that spot, and Hozier's like, wait. The OG needs to come in and show and so that whole EP smashing was just insane to see, people really craving his sound and all that. So very glad, especially because I wasn't the biggest fan of Take Me to Church, even with its important message and everything. So I'm glad that this one was way better and bigger than the last one.
Yeah, me too.
The instrumental palette with that chunky bass and the bells are so addictive. I cannot stop listening to this all year. Also, his lyricism about him and his love interest living very different lives, basically saying her lifestyle's too vanilla for him. It's so hilarious.
Right. Yeah, it actually kind of is. There's a comedy to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, his descriptive lyricism never fails. I can confidently say this is my favorite hit of the year. So glad that Hosier's back in the limelight.
Yeah, me too. Me
Uh,
too.
Yes.
Woo,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
and that is
Yeah,
2024.
I did quite like Too Sweet. Though from like his Unreal Unearthed, I think my favorite song from that was probably Eat Your Young.
Oh, E, you're
I
young.
feel like that deserved to be much bigger than
Yeah.
it was.
Definitely, it would have been my number if that was if that made the year end.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I like Too Sweet, and if y'all don't mind if I do a bit of self promo, I am
Sure.
hosting 2024 all on the Talk to the Charts server, where you can boost Too Sweet and the beginning, and a whole bunch of other great artists like the Maria, Saint and Sid, Billie Eilish, and more. It's due on the 22nd.
Yes.
Hopefully, that by the time this video is out, I might get some interest by then. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that's our best list. We did it. We did it, guys.
did
We did it.
Yep. Want to do the outro?
Yes.
Yeah, this is where you get off. Hopefully, take a trip with us again soon. But before you let you go, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe to the video. Enjoy the ride. Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next trip.
Yep.
Bye bye.
See
Goodbye.
y'all.